A Tokyo subway train, packed with 100 people, complete silence. Then a toddler starts to cry, loud, desperate, the kind of cry that makes everyone freeze. But the mother does something you'd never expect. She doesn't reach for her phone. She doesn't shush her child. She doesn't even look around. She just waits. In 30 seconds, that child is calm again, not bribed, not punished, not distracted, just calm. Because that mother knows a secret most Western parents have never heard. A secret that has been passed down in Japan for over 400 years. 3 rules, used by every generation of Japanese mothers. Rules that produce some of the calmest, most well-behaved children on the planet. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what they are. You can start using them tonight, and your home will never feel the same again. Here's what most people get wrong. They assume Japanese kids are calm because of culture. That's not true. Researchers from Harvard, Stanford, the University of Tokyo, they spent 15 years studying Japanese children, looking for the secret. What they found shocked them. It wasn't strict rules. It wasn't fear of punishment. It wasn't even discipline, at least not the way the West understands it. It was 3 psychological principles, 3 principles so simple, so powerful, that once you understand them, you cannot unsee them. These principles work on every child, in every culture, in every home, including yours. But there's a catch. You have to do them in the right order. Get the order wrong and they don't work. Get the order right and your child changes within 3 weeks. Let me show you. The first rule is called Shitsuke. It's a Japanese word with no exact English translation. In Japanese writing, it's made of 2 ancient symbols. The first symbol means body. The second symbol means beauty. Together, they mean to attach beauty to the body. Now listen carefully because this changes everything. Notice what's missing from this definition. It doesn't say control, it doesn't say obedience, it doesn't say punishment, it says beauty. Shitsuke is the art of raising a child who wants to behave well, not because they're afraid of you, but because good behavior has become part of who they are. Now think about how we parent in the West. We wait for the bad behavior. The child screams, we yell. The child hits, we give a timeout. The child throws food, we take away the iPad. It works for 10 minutes. The next day, same thing, and the next, and the next. Why? Because we're treating the symptom. We're putting out fires. We're never teaching the actual skill. Japanese mothers do the exact opposite. When their child acts out, they don't ask, how do I stop this? They ask one different question. What skill is my child missing right now? That single question changes everything. Because here's the truth no one tells you. Children don't misbehave to ruin your life. They cry, they scream, they throw tantrums, because they don't yet know how to wait. They don't yet know how to handle disappointment. They don't yet know how to express their feelings with words. These aren't bad children. These are children missing skills. And skills can be taught. The moment you stop punishing the behavior and start teaching the missing skill, your home transforms. But teaching the skill is only step 1. Step 2 is harder, and it's why most Western parents fail. Now, before I tell you the second rule, I need to warn you. What I'm about to share goes against every parenting instinct you have. It will feel wrong. It will feel cold. But the science is clear. It works. Here it is. Remember that mother on the subway? Why didn't she rush in to comfort her crying child? She wasn't being cold. She wasn't being a bad mother. She was practicing the second rule, Mimamoru. The word means to watch over while protecting. It's one of the most powerful psychological tools ever invented, and almost no one in the West uses it. Here's how it works. When your child struggles, your instinct is to rush in. They cry, you pick them up. They fall, you catch them. They can't open the jar, you open it for them. You do this out of love, but neuroscientists have discovered something terrifying. Every time you rescue your child from a small struggle, you send a message straight into their developing brain. The message says, you can't handle this on your own. You are not capable. You need me to survive. Your child believes that message. By age 7, that belief is permanent. That child grows into an adult who can't handle stress, can't handle failure, can't handle life. Japanese mothers refuse to send that message. They take a step back. They watch. They don't intervene at every sign of difficulty. not because they don't care, but because they care enough to let their child develop strength. The child cries. The mother waits 10 seconds. The child gets frustrated. The mother waits 20 seconds. The child tries again and again and again, and eventually the child solves it. That moment, when a small child solves a small problem on their own, is sacred, because that single moment becomes the foundation of everything. Real confidence, real resilience, real self-trust. You cannot give your child confidence with words. You cannot buy it for them. You cannot praise it into existence. It can only be earned by struggling and surviving. So tonight, when your child is frustrated, try something radical. Pause, count to 10, watch. You'll be shocked at what your child can actually do, but Mimamoru only works if your child has Rule 3. And Rule 3 is what makes Japan different from anywhere else on Earth. The third rule is the most misunderstood. Most Westerners assume that because Japanese kids are so disciplined, Japanese homes must be strict, cold, distant. The opposite is true. Japanese homes in the early years are some of the warmest places on Earth. The third rule is called Amae. Amae means the feeling of being able to depend completely on another person's love. In a Japanese child's first years of life, physical and emotional closeness is constant. Co-sleeping is common. Babies are carried on the mother's body for hours every day. Eye contact is constant. The child never feels alone, not for one moment. Now, a Western parent might say, "But you'll spoil the child." This is the biggest myth in modern parenting. Neuroscience proves it wrong. A child who feels deeply, securely, unconditionally loved in their first 3 years develops a nervous system that regulates itself. That child doesn't need to scream to get attention. That child doesn't need to throw tantrums to feel seen, because that child already knows at the deepest possible level that they are loved. That foundation makes everything else possible. You cannot enforce discipline on a child who feels emotionally abandoned. You cannot teach skills to a child whose nervous system is in panic mode. In Japan, the order is sacred. First, infinite warmth. Then, gentle structure. Never, never the other way around. This is why Japanese kids look calm. Their nervous systems were built in absolute safety before any rules were ever introduced. By the time discipline begins, there is no fight. The child is already secure. The child wants to please the parent, not out of fear, but out of love. This is the real secret. This is what every parenting expert in the West is missing. Now, before you go, one final fact that changes everything. Have you ever heard that Japanese school children clean their own classrooms every single day? There are no janitors. No one forces them. They just do it. Why? It's not about cleanliness. It's about something far deeper. Something most Western parents have never even considered. It's called identity formation. In Japan, children as young as 4 are given small daily responsibilities: setting the table, packing their bag, putting their shoes in the right spot. Not because the parents need help, but because of one ancient psychological truth. Behavior, repeated daily, becomes identity. A child who sets the table every night doesn't think, "I'm a child following a rule." That child thinks, "I am someone who contributes to my family." That single thought, repeated for years, becomes the architecture of who that child is. Japanese parents don't say, "Clean your room because I said so." They say, "This is who we are. This is what people in our family do." And the child naturally wants to be that kind of person. Western parents enforce rules. Japanese parents build identities. The rule lasts a day. The identity lasts a lifetime. So starting tonight, try this. Pick one small ritual. Maybe your child sets out the spoons before dinner. Maybe they put their shoes by the door when they come home. No rewards, no punishments, no yelling, just trust. Wait 3 weeks. You won't believe who your child is becoming. Japanese parents aren't calm because they're perfect. They're calm because they built the right system. Shitsuke, teaching skills, not punishing behavior. Mimamoru, watching while protecting. Amae, infinite warmth before any structure. These aren't Japanese tricks. These are forgotten human truths, and those truths are now in your hands. Next week, I'll share the Japanese rule that makes children respect adults without fear. What they do at age 5 will shock you. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Your child is waiting.